Hey guys, it's great to see you again. Thank you for being here and welcome if you're here for the first time. I wanted to talk a bit about numbers and how reading numbers in a peculiar, different way, I think, helped me transform my life, and it helped me as guidance mostly when I felt disoriented or lost or overwhelmed. I would know how to proceed. It would help me get back to myself. So to start with this, there are some certain times where you just don't look at your watch or any number or anything because you're sort of immersed in the doing. And for me, it happened quite a bit that I didn't use a watch for years, and every time I would see somewhere displaying numbers, I would see like 1111 or 2222, 4444, 333, things like that. And in the beginning, I didn't know what these things were, but I noticed that when I was in a certain flow state or doing something where I was so immersed that I was lost, I was like literally without time, I would see these numbers. So let's say I'm playing a show and all of a sudden I see a display with the number, or somebody, like I need to see how far I am in my set, and it's like 111. It's like I've been playing for an hour and 11 minutes or things like that. And that's when I know that what I'm doing is somehow connected with my purpose, or I'm in the right path. Is a sign of relief, like a companion, like somebody saying you're doing all right, even when you don't even know what you're doing. Because most of the time when you are going into the unknown, you don't know what you're doing, and that's absolutely fine. It's in the unknown and in the movement that you get to find yourself. It's not always from stillness, but it needs to come from stillness. But you start moving, things move all of the time. So for example, sometimes I would catch a bus late at night after playing my set as a musician, and maybe I had like a really long day, I was exhausted or something, and this happened a lot. I would take a bus and then look at the display, at the clock, like in the bus, and it would say 11:11. And then I would look at my phone, and my phone would say like, it's like, I don't know, 10 to 10. And it was just like a double confirmation. It's the clock in the bus being like out of time, sort of, if you will. And then when I look at the time, it was another number. So I would just feel safe. It's like if you're in doubt, somehow that will tell you you're in the right path. But I want to make a distinction, a clear and important distinction, which is when you see the numbers, it's one thing to actually be in this state of flow and to see the numbers as guidance. And a very different thing is to try to see the numbers. So, I'm looking for the confirmation. Because when you look for the confirmation, you'll never find it. It's pretty rare that you would. Confirmation appears when you're actually surrendering into the moment. So when you see the 111 and you just woke up, or you were doing something and you just lost track of time and you see these numbers, it means to me confirmation that you are doing the right thing. But when you're feeling like you are wasting time, like you're trying to control the outcome, you're trying to rush, that's when the numbers, to me, it will reflect nothing but what I want to see. It's not what I want to see, but I don't get that confirmation. And then I know that I'm rushing, that I'm trying to push, that I'm trying to control something, that I'm lost here, thinking, overthinking, overanalyzing. So you can time things. We still live in a in a world where if you have a gig, for example, if you have a certain job that you need to do, if you have a match, whatever you are doing, you have like a confined time structure. But within that time structure, 15 minutes could last an eternity. 1 hour could last what it would feel like 15 minutes. And that goes to show that how you are vibrating internally is able to change time. Because time, as we know it, is a construction, is an illusion. Of course, if you want to pay attention to it and say, oh, this is rigid, this is just how it works, time has to be linear, you'll experience that. But if you believe in the magic of numbers, you'll experience a whole new reality. You'll experience guidance in a way that you'll know if you're pushing, or you'll know if you're trusting the flow of your life. One thing I've noticed is that if I'm overthinking at some point, or I'm worried, I would see, and this is always the case, it's so strange, like I would see like 1112, like one number that is going up. That means that I'm over giving, oversharing, overthinking. And that's always the case. It would be 3334 or 1415, something like that. That would tell me, all right, now maybe you can take it down a notch. And then some other time I would have the opposite. I would feel like I'm too sluggish. I'm sort of in my mind and not really moving. And that's when I know that I always see something like, I don't know, 0111 or 2333 or 1110 or 99. I don't know. It doesn't have to be just the clock. You know, this could be just numbers that you see on a plate, that you see like in your bus ticket, anywhere. But if you start recognizing patterns and then realize how you are feeling, every time I feel like pushing, every time I am trying to rush, I'll see something that it's exceeding the last number, or it's just uneven and it's going up. Like I was saying, like 1112. And then if I see, for example, 221 or 2221, numbers that are going down in the last number, or the digits are just descending, I know that I might be I'm probably not taking the action I should be taking. And sometimes you know the action is right for you, but you still have some form of sluggishness that I will tell you is fear in disguise. So in the times that you need to act and you are ready, your soul is ready, but you're just overthinking it and just not starting. To me, seeing those numbers is like, okay, take the leap, go for it. And to me, it acts as a way of balancing. So then when I'm in the doing, it's always the case that I see like 1919. I even have the 1919 here because I've seen it so much. And it had a lot to do with my partner as well. We would see these numbers everywhere, and she has it as well. And it's some form of reminder that you're not alone, that you're being guided if you ask for it. Nobody's pushing you into doing anything. But it's just a knowing. It's like a warmth inside your chest. It's like such a beautiful thing to know that you don't have to be alone and pushing, but there's a guidance, there's a team with you at all times, even if you don't see it. And numbers to me reflect that. And it's the most beautiful thing. It's quite windy today, so hopefully you can hear me well. And yeah, so to me, the three things that are most important in order to look at in numbers are, again, even numbers or angel numbers or mirror numbers, being 1111, 1212, 1313, whatever you want to call it, 3333, or even as 3 if there are just 3 numbers, 333, 222, 111. But again, for me, when I see a number descending like 221 or 332, that means it's time to fully connect again. Have the awareness that you might be overthinking and I just need to do it. And then if I'm too exhausted or if I'm too worried or again overthinking, I'll see like 12, 13, or even 12, 14 when the numbers go way up. It's always the case, if I'm conscious of it, it's always the case that I'm running. I'm not running from stillness, which is a bit of a paradox, but running from like out of fear, out of trying to control. So if you regulate your nervous system that way, just having the awareness that, okay, I'm seeing this number, just check with yourself, am I pushing at this time? This is not for you to be checking the numbers, like looking forward to confirming whatever you want to think, but just having that as natural confirmation, because it happens to, you know, when you have your phone like locked and then all of a sudden the screen pops up and you see 1111, that's, I mean, you can think whatever you want to think, but to me it's a confirmation. And if it's slower and you don't feel, because it could happen that you're in the middle of a process and then it's just a number, it's not indicating anything, but you're probably in the middle of something, of a movement, and you're not necessarily needing to pay attention to that, and you probably won't even pay attention, but when you see it, you'll know it. So I started taking those as guidance, and every time I was too hyper, I would slow down, and every time I was too lost in thoughts, I would go a bit up. And that was such a simple change, but started to change everything. And then the confirmation is there for you. But again, don't look for it, don't try to control it, because if you try to control it, you won't find it. See, it's like connecting with yourself. If you try to connect with yourself, if you try too hard to meditate, if you try too hard or something, you're coming from the state that you don't really have it. So if you look for confirmation, you're not gonna find the confirmation. You'll find the confirmation once you become the confirmation itself, once you are in the frequency of what you want to confirm. And numbers are such a beautiful guidance system. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys being here. And also, if you want to check the video that I made about being guided by source, that is also a confirmation. When you relax into your body, when you regulate your nervous system, when you're at ease, and then you start moving from that, most definitely you'll have the confirmation in numbers. Again, don't try to look for it, just let it happen. Become the version of yourself that sees that confirmation, because you are vibrating at that level. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Let me know in the comments how you see the numbers. Let me know when you see the numbers and what they mean for you, because your experience might help others. I know it's not the same for everyone, but the way I see it is the way I learned to see it, by experience. So I've read some things before, but I wasn't feeling quite sure about it. And then when I started doing that myself, like sensing that myself, come here, that's when I would know. All right? I think I'm required to play. So see you next time, and have a beautiful, eternal present moment.